Hello everyone, Azu Sapphire here, and tonight I'm going to be reacting to some of my older videos again. Last time I did this was in January with some of my 2016 videos, and now tonight I'm going to have a bit more of a variety of videos I'm going to be reacting to, ranging from 2014 to 2023. We're going to start off with the newest of these videos, and probably one of the more controversial ones when it was on public YouTube. This is the infamous Dora TV video, recorded on the 3rd of March 2023, and first uploaded on the 15th of January 2024, Mio Akiyama's 32nd birthday. According to the description I wrote here, this video's short time on public YouTube has one valuable lesson. You are not allowed to criticize products made for children, regardless of how good or bad the product in question is. The YouTube comments will rip you apart for it. If you notice that my YouTube layout looks a bit different, that's because I'm using the YouTube V3 extension. It's actually really nice, but what I gotta do here is go to full screen for one, but also readjust my OBS window. Okay, I've readjusted everything to my liking. I've only got a single monitor to work with right now because my portable is a bit busy at a different setup. Let's start watching the video.
This right here is probably the worst CRT TV that I've ever used.
I don't know if I'd say that's the worst CRT TV I've ever used, but we're gonna get into a bit of a story with this thing later on.
No! It's not the fact that it's a Dora TV. It's not the fact that it's just a mono composite 13-inch special. It does have the kids' TV from the mid-2000s chassis, though.
Commonly used among like SpongeBob TVs and Ninja Turtles TVs, which, funny enough, if you search Rare Retro Gaming on eBay, at least 3 years ago, it was mostly just Ninja Turtles TV listings. I don't know if that's still the case today.
It's just a curved 13-inch tube. Nothing too wrong with that. It's got the fake impression that it has stereo speakers when it only does mono. If we go in the back,
It aesthetically looked nicer if it had the fake speaker grill. I'll give it that.
the input in the back. Doesn't seem too bad, right? Well, you see, this only actually has one AV input, so you have the AV input back here, and then the AV input in the front overrides the AV input in the back, so whenever you want to use the rear input, you have to make sure nothing is plugged in the front.
A lot of CRT TVs did that, surprisingly. I had a Panasonic CT20SX11E from the Tau series that did that. I had a Sony Trinitron VCR combo from the dump that did that. I don't think my 14-inch Advent in the closet does that, though. I'd have to check on that.
Here's the rear sticker. It's the Dora the Explorer DTE 314, distributed by Emerson Radio Corporation. I'm not sure if this is actually built by Funai itself. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, because this was 2005. Funai was building just about every cheap TV and VCR.
I don't think this was actually built by Funai. Funai had different US headquarters. I think they were also located in Jersey, but I think they were in Bergen County. Whereas Emerson Radio's headquarters actually aren't too far from me.
Manufactured July 2005. It's got a white power cable. And it's got handles, so you can actually transport the thing. Though this is actually a bit heavier than some of the Funais that I've used. I even have the remote for this pile of crap.
Whoa, 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 whoa there. I don't think we needed to go calling it a pile of crap right away.
Just the door remote. Screw's supposed to go here, but it's been taken out. And as such, this door comes out way too easily. I get why the screw is in place, because this is meant to be used by kids. And you don't want them taking this door out and shoving it in their mouth.
Hey, at least I understood that much about the remote.
It's supposed to be a child-proof design. But yeah, let's turn this on. It's actually a little bit quieter than some other TVs I've used. Here's something really annoying, is that it always kicks me back to the RF input, or channel 3, whenever I turn it on. We can be on AV. Let's try to switch that. Yeah, here's the AV input. I have this Hitachi FX665 VCR hooked up. Just gonna test it.
Is this video about the VCR or the TV? I need some clarification on that.
I don't know how the menu on this VCR works, but I don't really care. I think I have to turn it off and back on. It's a Funai VCR from like 2001. If you look at the remote for it, then it has the Funai remote.
Is this about the TV or the VCR?
It's one that I don't really care about. The movie itself is probably fine. I've never really watched it, but this is just one of my tapes for testing VCRs.
I made that my testing tape for a reason, because the person who had sent that to me, we got into some really bad beef at the end of 2021, beginning of 2022, and I'd really rather not recall that point in my life. But I still have that Matrix VHS. It hasn't been eaten up or anything. In fact, I didn't even use it for testing last time. I think I used a Finding Nemo tape because I actually have 2 of them for some reason.
It didn't like my tape. It's not even at the end. I think I gotta push it in. Press play. Okay then. Let's just press play. And yeah, it's going. Oh, the speakers in this are absolutely terrible. It's volume 23 and it's not even that loud.
I think that was an intentional design because children have really sensitive ears compared to like an adult. We're talking like really young children here, like under the age of 5. Even compared to like a 10-year-old child, their hearing is really sensitive, so you want to make sure that things don't get too loud. Like, there's a reason why child-proof headphones exist, or child-safe headphones.
For the longest time, I wouldn't believe it. liquefied and dead so they could
We have to get it to 50 for it to be somewhat loud.
standing there.
Yeah, the speaker's on the left side. The right side has absolutely no speaker at all. Here's something that's pretty annoying. I'm going to demonstrate it. So I'm just going to make sure that we are on the AV input. Okay, now let's turn off the TV. Doesn't flash. I don't really mind that, but let's turn it back on.
I might actually prefer it not having the flash because that would actually kind of freak me out at times.
Instantaneous. Boom. Already kicked back to channel 3. That's really annoying. You want to know the worst part? You need the remote to change the input. So you could try pressing the channel buttons all you want, but you are not changing from channel 3 unless you have the remote. And no, you cannot go to the menu to change inputs.
A good amount of CRT TVs do that, and it's actually really annoying. Like, the Toshiba AF series does it, the JVC-D series does it, although I think you can get to the menu to change inputs without the remote. And as for getting kicked back to channel 3, I think this board was actually a hack job meant for a different children's CRT, because it doesn't have the Dora OSD like some of these do.
See? You gotta press AV. You have to press AV every time you turn on this TV if you want to use the AV inputs. It's so annoying. And no, this Funai VCR has not eaten out my Matrix tape.
Yeah, about this. I edited this video like several months after I sold the VCR, and that VCR sale was a disaster. Like, yeah, I sold it, I told the guy you might have to really push the tape in there for him to get there, and then when it ate up one of his tapes, he acted all entitled, being like, this was not worth $20, refund me, and went and one-starred me before even attempting to work anything out. And yeah, you could blame that on me for selling a Funai VCR, but we can also blame it on him for buying a Funai VCR. I'm still mad about that.
This is one cheaply built Funai VCR. And yes, this VCR is built entirely out of plastic.
A lot of Funai VCRs from the time were.
It really shows when we like push it.
What? I can barely see that.
but I certainly
Okay, I can see it a little bit, but who cares really? Yeah, needless to say, when this video was new, or when it was on public YouTube for like a whole 2 days, yes, 2 days, it was not received well at all. It's a product made for children, you're not allowed to shit on it. Well, let's see what my analysis said. At the beginning, I did say that the Dora theming is not what made it bad, nor being a monocomposite thing from the mid-2000s. The fake speaker point wasn't necessarily a negative, just a thing I pointed out. It was common in consumer electronics for the time. The repeating AV input point is a little silly, though, because the Panasonic's 20SX11E does its same thing with its video 2 input. And that was a good mid-range 20-inch set from 2001. I don't really see it as a negative, because it's still better than having only one composite input. As much as the comments wanted to write off my entire video for it, I did acknowledge the fact that it was a children's product with the remote battery trapdoor missing the screw to keep it in place, which is a child-proof design to make it safer for young children to handle. The speakers being very quiet was not a very well thought-out point, as I neglected to remember that the hearing of a young child is much more sensitive than the average adult. My most fair criticism would have been getting kicked back to channel 3 on every startup, the only way to change inputs being via the remote. I'm not sure if it was another child-proof measure I neglected to think of, or if it had to do with this particular unit being hacked together from another TV that used the same chassis, having a messed up board. Honestly, the biggest problem with this video has to be the lack of coherency. A little less than halfway through, that's when I brought up the Funai VCR being used to output a picture, in which half the video seems to be about it rather than the actual subject matter. To make matters worse, I kept flipping the subject between the TV and the VCR. The latter could have been left out of the video entirely and only do its thing. Also, I said it was the worst CRT TV I've ever used, but I didn't really even try to prove it, and came off as a more negative than what was necessary. In my defense, though, I was pretty frustrated at the time, and I mainly made this video out of spite for the ex-friend that gave it to me and refused to take it back, despite him disallowing me from selling it due to his imaginary contracts. But I don't think that it was really as bad as the whiny boomers in the comments made it out to be. In an ironic turn of events, this one had a significantly less negative like-to-dislike ratio than the roadside floppy disk video, albeit that was over a much lesser time span. TLDR, this video isn't as bad as the YouTube comments made it out to be, but it was not good due to the lack of coherency and neglecting to consider why some of the negative points may be the way they are. I think another problem with this video is that its original title was, no, I don't think it was really the original title. It was Dora the Explorer DTE 314 CRT TV Quick Overview or something like that. Okay, the original title was fine, but the thumbnail was like this, but like the worst CRT TV I've ever used. And it was like DankPod style as well, so I think the whole DankPod's expectation was there because, yes, that was early 2024 was around the time when I had my bootleg DankPod's Junior copycat phase. I don't think I even have the original thumbnail anymore. I think I deleted it because it was that much of an embarrassment. An embarrassment that I blame for killing that channel, although I did that on purpose. I killed that channel so I could jump back to this one, because this one had an older date attached to it, and I wasn't really happy with the whole bootleg DankPods Junior direction that I was taking the previous channel in. Anyway, That's enough of the infamous Dora TV video, which isn't really that infamous, but it was not well received and it wasn't a very good video. Although, let me find the roadside floppy disk video, just so we can see how bad that video was. Because that one had even worse reception, although I wasn't looking at anything except the like to dislike ratio. This is a much newer video from the 30th of June 2024, which I uploaded on the same day to the archive channel. This one somehow managed to be even more unpopular than the notorious Dora TV video, and it's probably my most unpopular video in your like to dislike ratio. 117 to 77 since 2015, maybe except for the 2020 laptop collection video getting dislike bombed on release for literally no reason. I can see why this one got the reception it did though. It was hastily put together and I was posing both partially unintentional tech destruction and potential health risks. As of November 2024, the video was removed from the channel. Original description. The things you find on the side of a 4-lane 45-mile-per-hour Suburban show that you're really not supposed to be walking along. This one is also a rather quick video at 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Let's watch it. Literally along a 4-lane suburban strode and on a highway overpass, somehow I found this floppy disk. And I bootleg Dankpods Jr. copycat intro much? Although, this was no longer in my bootleg Dankpods Jr. copycat phase. I don't know how long it's been there.
Oh. Really? That's an honest-to-God floppy disk? I don't think it even works anymore, but I'm taking that with me.
I wouldn't be surprised if this... I still have the whole footage from me walking along that strode. Came from the county library down the road from the site that I found this disc. But as you can see, it is totally disgusting. I mean, it was literally along a highway overpass. So what do you expect? The label says Imagination. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be the software title or the manufacturer of this floppy disk. It's a high-density 1.44 megabyte floppy disk. It still has the write protect switch. I don't know if it still slides. It is very crusty. Ugh. Yeah, there's no way I'm sliding that off. I have 2 laptops that have built-in floppy drives, but those are still good, or at least I think both of them are still good, so I don't want to sacrifice them. I could also pull out my childhood Sony Vaio desktop, but that also has a good optical drive, and I don't want to sacrifice that. Floppy. I have the spare beige Mitsumi floppy drive sitting around. I think it's still good, but I'd be okay with sacrificing this one. We're just going to install the donor floppy drive as so. That was a little rough. That one I might not be getting out unless I remove the power supply. Okay, it's out. Oh yeah, I hated working in that Sony Vaio. It made my room smell like old computer, even though I had tried cleaning it out multiple times. I'm not actually gonna mount this because we're only doing this for like one thing. But the very least I can do is stabilize it. Okay, our floppy drive is detected. Although I don't see why it wouldn't be because you have to manually configure the floppy drive in the BIOS. So now I'm going to verify that this drive works by putting in a Windows 98 boot disk. There we go, everything loaded. I'm going to take this crusty floppy from the side of the road and put it in our beige floppy drive. Here goes nothing. If this metal tab gets stuck in this floppy drive, then at least I can take it apart and try to get it out. About that. It's not even gonna go in. I'm not even gonna try to rip it out. Yes, just brute force it in there. Yeah, there's no way it's reading that. I'm not even gonna let it seek. Well, I got this stray floppy out of the drive here. Even if it did actually go in, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have read anyway. But yeah, the tape is just very dirty. I do wonder if it would work if we cleaned it though. Oh, and if you think this... I could have tried cleaning it beforehand, but trying it raw was more fun and more authentic, I'd say. Side is bad? You haven't seen the other side. Oh, that's disgusting. Just caked in dust on this side. Now I'm going to put the stray disc back in, this time without the little tab that was bent. I don't think the metal tab is even needed for the disc to work, it's just for protection. It's gonna work, but we'll try anyway. Okay, it went in this time. Okay, now we're going to go to the floppy disk. Well, yeah, of course it's not going to work. I kind of expected that to begin with, but from what my friends told me, that disc was surprisingly intact for, you know, being found on the literal side of the road. And it's not ejecting. I'm going to have to disassemble that drive in order to actually get the disc out and actually give it a cleaning if I want to use it ever again. I ended up destroying the faceplate and the drive itself in the process, and this is why I used a spare drive I had sitting around. Yeah, valid. If there's anything to learn from this video, don't be an idiot like me and grab floppy disks that you find on the side of the road that's above a highway overpass, because it's not going to work and it's going to cause you more trouble in the end. I'm going to have to clean up after all this. And of course, wash my hands. I did that at the very least. This video, I can't say was necessarily good. I don't know if it really had a point, but like, it wasn't really a particularly offensive video. I think most of why this video wasn't well received at all, I think it came down to the destruction of that floppy drive, which was perfectly working, but I was willing to sacrifice it for that experiment. Not a terrible video, but definitely some people freaked out over it a bit too much. Okay, the next video we're going to be watching here is the Sony Vaio VGC LV150J acquisition and Windows 7 install. First uploaded on August 29th, 2016. What a bunch of wasted potential. Handing a machine as uncommon as this to a loser like this? Even I wasn't so ecstatic to look at it, as the original description was word for word, I finally got the thing and a chance to do a video on it. Well, it was teased in a previous video. Context existed at least. No! But that was during a different channel branding, so oops.
I got the Sony Vaio VGC LV150J all-in-one desktop computer on Friday. Yeah.
I made a little cut there in a later version of this video because I had said some stuff that I probably shouldn't have.
This is a TV, PC, Blu-ray player all-in-one, and
TV, PC, Blu-ray player all-in-one. A media center PC, something like that. I don't really remember what Sony officially called the VGC LV series.
this thing weighs about 35 pounds, so I gotta be careful with it. Not if I put the camera down.
Why didn't you just cut the video, Herc Dirk?
Yeah, there's tape on it because apparently whoever owned it before me didn't put all the screws back on. But they were smart enough to put the screws in one bag.
That probably was a little easier for them to just tape the back panel if they had to get to the hard drive anyway, because, yeah, this thing had some hard drive problems before I got it.
Here's the hard drive access bay, but this is for the second hard drive. For the primary hard drive, you have to go inside the computer.
I'll give it props for having 2 hard drive bays instead of just 1.
Here's your button to connect to your Bluetooth keyboard, then your IS400
Was it Bluetooth
port,
though? I don't
which
really
is
remember, but it was
FireWire,
wireless of some kind.
optical audio out, 2 USB 2.0s, another USB 2.0, and our audio jacks, SD card slot, and Sony's memory stick, and express card.
Yeah, some real professional video work there for an aspiring professional content creator.
Its secondary number is PCV AF1L.
I think that's the chassis model number, AF1L.
Here are your inputs, HDMI, and the coax inputs and output, I think.
No, I think it's dual input, so you have one for analog, which was dying around that time that the computer was manufactured in late 2008, and also digital tuner, because that was mandated by 2007.
Digital and analog. There's an video, AV, which requires an adapter.
I think I have the breakout cable for that now. I got it off some Samsung TV at the dump, trademark.
Ethernet, and your infrared transmitter out. Here's your RAM door for the 4 gigabytes of RAM that's in here.
Yeah, it was laptop DDR2. We should start buying DDR2 again, guys.
Got 2 more USBs. I'll be back. I gotta charge my camera.
Yeah, because my 300HS couldn't really record video all too well.
I mean, wireless on-off switch. Your volume button.
Remember when wireless switches were a thing? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Or brightness, I don't know what that is. Or that might be channel.
That might be volume, actually.
Then there's HDMI select, menu button, OK button.
I remember the HDMI select button would actually light up orange if you had it on the HDMI.
And here's the Blu-ray drive, which has some tape over it because, yeah, this thing has to have tape to be held together.
It has tape over it because it needs tape to be held together. Well, the tape was really just for convenience at that moment when it was being serviced.
The on button and the display off button.
The display off button would light up orange when you had the display off. Good way to hide your Pokemon videos, at least.
And here's something for the motion eye camera, which is on the front.
I think that was really just to angle the camera.
And if I put this thing back up again, so here's the motion eye right here, and here's
what?
the 24
I can't see that.
1920 by 1200.
16 by 10. Ooh, fancy. Totally better than 16 by 9. 16 by 9 was never good. Although for a PC like this, it kind of made sense, at least for like having media controls, but when you were trying to use it as a TV, you'd have some letterboxing because most HDMI sources could only do like 1920 by 1080 and not 1920 by 1200.
And then there's the speakers all around, and the Sony logo's down here.
Speakers all around, well, it was really just the speaker grill aesthetic that was all around. I think the speakers were only on the left and right.
VGC LV150J.
What? I can't
I don't
see
know if you
that.
can see that, but it says it right there.
How am I
And
supposed to
there's
take your word
indicator
for
light
that?
for HDMI select, wireless, display off, and hard drive activity.
Wow, I totally couldn't have made that out with your crusty video quality.
Here is the Bluetooth keyboard that it comes with. This is
Oh, that was kind of gross, actually. I'm almost certain I cleaned that later on.
This is what it looks like with the back panel off. This is the second hard drive slot where the E7200 Core 2 Duo goes. 4 gigabytes of RAM.
I see a little Wi-Fi card.
Our inputs, and here's our primary hard disk drive bay.
Hard disk drive bay.
Did I just say disk drive? It's disk drive.
I trip
I'm
on my
gonna
speech
stick a
like
hard
that
drive in
often.
here. I know you're gonna hate on me for this.
Oh, you're gonna hate on me for this because of the specific hard drive I'm using. The Seagate Barracuda 7200.11 750 gig. I don't think these were the cancerous drives. I think it was the 7200.10s that were the bad ones, in which, ironically, the only one of these that I have left is a 7200.10, and it works just fine. It's 20 years old. It was manufactured in July 2006, and I think it was the largest hard drive that you could have purchased at the time. I don't think 1 terabyte was a thing until 2007.
But the hard drive I have decided to use for this primary drive is a Barracuda 7200.11 750 gigabyte. Yeah, I heard these aren't very good drives, but they'll do for now.
I never really had too many problems with them. Yeah, I did have a couple bad ones, but that was, I think, mostly due to my sample size. I just had a lot of those drives, and a couple of them were bound to be bad, as naturally hard drives go.
I've given up adding a second hard drive to this thing because only this screw would come out and I couldn't get the others to get out. And by the way, if you were wondering what hard drive I was going to add, it was a Western Digital 2 terabyte Caviar Green drive. With the help of my dad, I got the second hard drive in.
You probably could have just brute forced it in there.
Alright, it is the next day, and you may be asking, Kashmir, where's your TV?
Who?
Well, the Sony Vaio is going to be my temporary replacement. And the reason for that is because my sister has a TV right now, so she can finally have a TV in her room after 3 years of not having one in her room.
Oh yeah, because I was a bad brother and was insistent on having such a thing like that. Eventually we gave her my late uncle's TV when we were clearing his room in the end of 2021. Just a 32-inch LG 720p thing.
Alright, so me and my dad got everything put back together, and you can see the Sony logo and the power button light up, which I forgot the Sony logo actually lights up on this thing.
Looks quite nice, actually.
And we got the keyboard working, and I know that because I tried the keyboard when pressing Ctrl-Alt-Delete on operating system not found. So we're going into the Windows 7 setup now.
Dino 7! Roar!
Wasn't all that slow.
Wasn't all that slow.
And got the trackpad working. So we're gonna set this to English, United States.
Well, duh.
Install now. Let me just close my door.
Why didn't you do that earlier, genius?
Let's accept the license terms.
Windows 7 Home Premium.
Then-
Oh, Craig, why aren't you installing Windows 7 Ultimate? Turk,
Then
Dirk.
FTP server. Yes, that was my drive back when I was trying to do an FTP server with the Optiplex 755.
I'd never really even tried
which
that.
is now the Optiplex 780.
Bro, why didn't you back up your
That was back
data?
when I was using it as a media center PC.
Then again,
Now this is
there's a good chance that I might not have had anything of importance, really. And if I did have any totally legit media, then it was in kind of terrible quality and kind of terrible codecs all around.
my new media center PC right here. So we're gonna use the 750
yeah, about
gigabyte
that.
drive, and let's let it copy files. Wow, that took quite a while. Anyway, there's
Wasn't
the
that
boot up
slow, but it took
screen
quite a
for the
while.
Vaio. And no, I don't want to boot from CD or DVD. That took quite a while to get from 0% to 1% on expanding files.
That's what happens when you use optical media.
To kill some time, I was playing some PS4 on here to test the HDMI. And it actually looks pretty good on this computer here.
Well,
I mean,
it did have a 1080p plus panel, so there's that.
I don't think this might make a very good TV if you still use composite, but if you use HDMI, it should do fine.
Well, duh, it's not going to make a good TV if you use composite, because if you're really using composite, then you should just be using a CRT or some shitbox LCD from 2005 or something like that.
Setup is starting services. Look at that high resolution screen. It's 1920 by 1200. Yeah, so this thing actually new to the full resolution. Rebooting again, and I just found out that my dad put in the 32-bit disc. Well, that should be fine because this thing doesn't have 8 gigabytes of RAM in it, but rather 4.
Oh, you need to have more than 4 gigabytes of RAM for 64 bits. I think it was said if you had 4 gigabytes or more, then that's when you should be using the 64-bit install media.
I think 4 gigabytes of RAM was the only configuration you could get with this thing.
No, you could have gotten more. They just had different model numbers. Or maybe it wasn't more, but you could have gotten different configurations. They just were under different model numbers in the VGC LV series. Still checking video performance. Yeah, I know I'm spoiled by better edited videos these days. I don't really like putting spaces in my usernames anymore because sometimes I would connect Apple computers to my Windows shares and those wouldn't like it if I had a space in my username.
It's gonna want me to type in a password, but I really don't feel like doing so right now.
Oh no, you're gonna get hacked!
And it's gonna make me enter the product key. So
you could have just pressed skipped and just pirated it. I mean, what?
let's use the recommended.
But I had an actual product key.
Update set to January of 2008 when it's 2016.
That was probably just the BIOS getting reset or something like that. Was someone ringing my door at that time?
And it knows our Wi-Fi networks.
Haha, I can see your Wi-Fi networks! Except I don't think any of those Wi-Fi networks are still the same 10 years later. Yeah, not a single Wi-Fi network is the same as what's in that list anymore. I just checked.
What the? Activation period has expired.
Yeah, because you installed it in 2008 and you changed the clock to 2016.
Activation was successful, so why don't we close this window? I don't know why that cursor has to be so big.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah, everything seems to be appearing bigger than usual. Probably because of the 1920 by 1200 screen, they can't have everything too small.
It's not even that necessarily, but I guess that specific panel just enabled scaling by default.
Yes, that is the right time.
Well, duh, you entered it yourself.
1920 by 1200. NVIDIA defaults flat panel.
Oh no, NVIDIA bad. NVIDIA the bad ever.
It's at larger 150% rather than smaller 100%. Yeah, I'm okay with having everything larger because I don't want to have everything too small.
I did know what a 1920 by 1200 screen looked like at the time. A 17-inch one at that, so everything was pretty small and pretty spacious. But I think on 24 inches, 1920 by 1200 is a lot better, even at 100% scaling.
How about we eject the disk?
What? I can't
Using
see
the
that.
eject key on the keyboard.
I can't see that!
Well, that didn't seem to work.
Computing at its finest.
Yep, it's a BD-ROM drive. So if we try ejecting again, how about we just press the button?
You could have just clicked eject in the menu, perk dirk.
Yep, so I'll see you in another video. Bye.
I'll see you in another video, bye. Yeah, I just hastily ended my videos like that back then, and I'm not sure why it jumped me all the way to February 2018. I mean, I have another tab open for that. We're gonna jump to that as well, but we're not gonna be watching this video, because no point, really. Oh boy, it's this video. I did make semi-public. How the Loud House triggers you. Original upload date, January 12th, 2018. A very crude attempt at making a How Something Triggers You video like Nathaniel Bandy would have. It's also one of very few 2018 Techie Road Tripper pre-Versa WizKid era videos that got archived. I should probably use the re-uploaded version because it had a classmate's username that I'd rather not have get out there. It's probably mostly irrelevant these days, but I still really would not rather do that. But yeah, this video isn't fresh in my mind at the moment, so let's watch it. Whoa, crusty opening.
Warning, this video is not over-exaggerated. This show is absolutely terrible for how much it is promoted. It's not Blue's Clues for teenagers.
It's not Blue's Clues for teenagers? What even is a Blue's Clues for teenagers? How is anybody gonna get that inside joke? It was just a weird Flash video that my uncles watched back in the day, and they told me that I couldn't watch it because it was for teenagers.
It doesn't even have a banned episode or mature parody. What are Bowser and Peach fighting over this time? This image ValeSkibum94 made is perfect for anything.
Yeah, because I liked making those edits back then.
You like bashing on stupid comedy? Well, too bad, since this comedian's a serial killer.
That was an edit that I made back then. Yeah, this point.
Because your show has LGBT in it does not make it the best thing ever.
You're both girls! Girls can't love girls! Girls can't love girls! Girls can't love girls! Hey, wait, you forgot your bag!
Me circa 2018, apparently.
Okay, maybe that one's a bit nitpicky.
Yeah, you knew it was nitpicky, so why'd you say it?
With 10 girls for main characters, nasty stuff on DeviantArt will never end.
The DeviantArt is a lost cause. Why are you surprised? Weird Japanese stuff. Are you sure this meme wasn't a little racist or nationalist? Yeah, I guess this meme is somewhat accurate.
If you're going to have a crossover, do it with something current like Chuck E. Cheese. I bet he hasn't been doing too well lately, so you're probably going to want to do one with him.
Chuck E. Cheese wasn't even that current in 2017, 2018. Well, aside from all the Caillou goes to Chuck E. Cheese and gets grounded videos. Except that was more like a 2014 thing, if anything.
If this show could get away with stuff like this...
Oh, if it can get away with stuff like this, buddy, the Loud House was actually kind of progressive for having Howard and Harold in it.
Why not this?
That's kind of disturbing, actually. Yeah, Lola's expression says everything.
I guess Peggy considers this gambling and would rate it 18 if left uncensored, like the Game Corner and European versions of Platinum.
What does that have to do with anything?
Apparently the creator of the Loud House was a sex offender, and Nickelodeon knew it, so they fired him. Not a good sign.
Yeah, Nickelodeon. Go figure Nickelodeon is allowing pedos onto their shows. Cough, cough, Dan Schneider.
Now for something that would only have been my opinion. How Loud House really should have gone. The only protagonist is a 12-year-old girl with 13 jerky brothers.
What the fuck?
And she has to find a way to deal with them. So you meet up with your not useless friends at CEJ and get a freaking bazooka to shoot up your brothers.
Whoa, you didn't need to get so violent there, buddy. And also, some of that stuff you typed in there was really kind of weird.
And then you end up turning into Thomas the Tank Engine like Chuggaaconroy. Chugga,
Hey, look, it's me!
Chugga, choo, choo!
Yeah, exaggerated. I don't like that show, but you overhated on it, so clearly you liked it in some capacity. Don't even bother saying stupid stuff saying that the Loud House being the best show ever is a fact, because it clearly isn't. You do know that opinions exist, right? Although, this was way before the Loud House hate train really started taking off. I was early to that. Yeah, that video was a trip back. Probably not one of the better trips back. Like, I definitely take back the points where I mentioned Loud House having LGBT, because that was actually quite progressive for the time. Like I said here, I take back a good portion of what I said in this video, particularly with the 6th and 9th points. I was 15, had poor judgment, and really just wanted excuses to rip on a show. That tells me enough. Had poor judgment and really wanted excuses to rip on a show that I almost had meme levels of vendetta against. Meme levels of vendetta against, so it's almost like I like the show, except no, not really all that much, and these days I don't even care anymore. Oh, here's another quick one. My first Chuggaaconroy moment, 2009. Yes, I'm aware of all the stuff that went down with Chuggaaconroy about 2 years ago. He's redeemed himself. The internet was just freaking out. Hold your horses. Original upload date, December 31st, 2017. Recreation of the first memory I had watching a Chuggaaconroy video, circa Thanksgiving 2009. This was when I first got Pokemon Fire Red. Warning, this video is extremely over-exaggerated. This was the most I could remember from my first Chuggaaconroy moment. This was the whole point.
Hey everybody, it's Chugga Choo Choo! Welcome back to more Pokemon Fire!
Pokemon Fired, yeah, because that's what I call it back then. Fired. I mean, really, it was Fire Red, but it was one word, so it looked like fired to me.
Last episode, we burned Team Rocket to death, and in this episode, we are in Cerulean City, and we are going back to Route 4. So here we are, with this awesome music, and now we're going to go up. Oh, it's a wild battle.
I don't think it was exactly like this, but
it's a spirit.
It was definitely over-exaggerated.
We're gonna run from it.
Unknown. There wasn't an unknown in there at all. Unknown isn't even obtainable until the post-game, especially not the question mark form that I had there. I guess that's just what I had in front of the party at the time.
Now we are going to go back. Stop!
That's what Rattata's front sprite looked like to me.
And now we are going to kill the Ratta!
Or Ratta as I call it here, which was also intentional.
Okay, now we are going to go back up to Mount Moon and get up there, but we just can't, because this thing, well, I'm going, and as such, we are gonna go, we're gonna, and as such, we're gonna go further on, where else am I able to go on this route?
I'm getting
as such, if I run into one more, if I run into one more wild battle, then I'm gonna burn this game this game is gonna get fired if it keeps,
yeah, my parents didn't like me watching Chuggaaconroy whenever he'd have his rage moments.
Now to go further on the... That's it! I'll burn this game to the ground! Don't take this Pokemon fired! You're fired! And now I'm gonna throw you in my fireplace! and you're gonna burn to death there, where you deserve to be forever!
Thomas is back.
Chugga, chew.
Yeah, that was very much an over-exaggerated video, and that was not a real Chuggaaconroy video, obviously. Now let's go back 3 years, to 2014. I'm quitting Roblox. Original upload date, September 20th, 2014. Yeah, this video didn't even last 2 days before getting shot down by randos, and it was the perfect example of how not to react to a UI change. It's the original version of the video, not the 2016 re-edit. Yeah, because I commentated over it back in 2016. Actually, let's watch the 2016 re-edit so we can see what I thought of 2 years after that. Before you say, "You suck, noob," which was an actual comment I got, or "It's just a freaking layout," which I don't know if that was the other comment I got, but I got 2 comments and both of them were negative. Remember that this video is 1.5 years old. A day later, I came back to Roblox because of some trolls. I came back to Roblox because of trolls. Roblox sucks nowadays because of the ticks removal and can't get Robux. I still play it every now and again, but Roblox is also back in 2012. I've gotten it over the new look and it doesn't bother me as much anymore. You wanted another video? Here it is. I don't recall anyone else asking for another video. In fact, someone at the time was annoyed with me re-uploading 3-year-old videos and eventually unsubscribed because of that. Whatever, not my problem. Well, okay, it kind of was my problem, but I don't really care. It's an old channel that no longer exists. Oh, and this version of the video was first uploaded on the 3rd of June 2016, and I think that's when I made the edit. Original description. This was one of my worst videos, but if you're having a bad day and you want to bully someone, this video's for you. I deleted this video after 2 days because I got criticized for overreacting to Roblox's new flat UI in similar style to Windows 8 and iOS 7. And here's the rest of the description if you really care.
Wanna play Roblox?
No.
Ah, yes, Hotel Mario memes. Hotel Mario memes were dead, unfunny, and uncool at that point, but I don't know, I liked them back in 2014. I was the king of dead memes back then.
Okay, this
Oh, yeah, that's some real good AVI compression there.
is Games Tunes Plus, and it's time for me to move on.
It's time for me to move on?
Because, as if you should know, Roblox has changed their layout.
Not everyone knew that, dude.
And I gotta quit now.
I gotta quit because Roblox changed their
Let's
layout.
go to my web browser. Yes, I know I shouldn't be using Internet Explorer.
I know I shouldn't be using Internet Explorer, but I'm doing it anyway because the Torch browser, which is literal malware, won't load Roblox.
Torch wouldn't log me into Roblox.
This was back when I used Torch. That browser sucks, and I quit using it in December 2014 because eBay wasn't working. Oh yeah, another sucky browser. Thorium. That won't load Vogons.org at all. So yeah, I just ended up uninstalling that.
Characters still look the same. The 3D feature is nice.
Yeah, the 3D render of your player avatar.
But look at the top. It's a flat layout. I don't like flat layouts.
It's a flat layout. I don't like flat layouts.
What's 4 new important things? Oh yeah, the messages.
Yeah, there's my old Roblox
That's one of
name.
them.
No, I don't really care. I don't really play it anymore. Same with, let's say, Stranger Dead 23, because I think that was an account that an old friend of mine made, and he lost the password, so that doesn't really exist anymore.
Friend stuff. And 2 new friends. I'll still accept friend requests, but I won't be playing online with you anymore.
Wow, that sounds unnecessarily rude. And also, you'll accept friend requests, but you won't be playing online anymore, so you won't be accepting friend requests, because if you're not playing online, then you're not signing into Roblox, really.
Play button's still the same. I just don't, and it's the bar on the left. I'm used to my stuff being on the top.
I guess on the left it was more optimized for widescreens by that point, because, yeah, everything was widescreen by then, and its standard aspect ratios like 4:3 and 5:4 were dying out. I mean, you can make the argument for your stuff on the left or the top, or if you're really freaky, the right.
So this is basically one game in new Roblox.
Yes, Roblox is how I pronounced it, because my cousin pronounced it like that.
Comments have changed. I don't like how the comments look.
I don't like how the chat looks.
And the menu. Instead of a menu button that was there.
I remember back in the old days, if your account was under 13 years old, well, if your age was set to under 13 years old, then you'd have, like, a limited chat. Like, you'd only have, like, a couple preset messages, whereas later on, I think they opened up the chat, but it gets censored heavily.
Instead, they have to use 3 bars. And I don't like the 3 bars. I just don't like how
I don't
it
like
looks.
3
It's very
bars.
unoriginal.
I don't like how it looks. It's so unoriginal. Well, it looks about right. One of my teachers back then called the 3 bars the hamburger menu. And yeah, it kind of does look like a hamburger menu. A pretty basic one. I think it gets the point across fine.
And flat. I don't like flat looks.
Oh, you don't like flat looks? You don't like flat chests? Yeah, you're pretty cringe, bro. Okay, that joke was a little unhinged, but as a bit of an anime fan, you kind of gotta make those jokes every now and again, or kind of gotta expect them.
And in the search, let's type something in. If I want to type Mario 64 and I hit enter, it's going to take me to people instead of places.
Not that big of a deal anymore. I guess Roblox was trying to become more social by that point. Also 127-2010 for the second user there, whereas everyone else had been seen at least within the past year and a half by that point.
Which, that's a very lame idea.
That's a very lame idea. I was personally more annoyed by it because I was playing Roblox for the games, not for the social aspect. And frankly, if you're playing it for the social aspect, I don't know what to say, but it's way more of a problem and way more uncool now because of Roblox's pedo problem that they refused to... No, they actively refuse to deal with that.
So we'll just go to a standard face. The classic health bar doesn't look like it did anymore.
Well,
and this,
it's a health bar.
Instead of an arrow, we instead have 2 lines, which is also very unoriginal.
It's very unoriginal. Well, so is an arrow, but I personally think the arrow was a little better because it got the idea across a bit better.
You know what happened to that nice-looking box that was from 2011 to 2014?
Yeah, the little gradient.
They turned it into a lame square.
Well, the other one was a square as well, but it had a bit of a gradient, whereas that was just a translucent.
That's my reaction to new Roblox.
Dude, relax. It's not that bad. At least online dating was actively discouraged back in that day.
Okay. I've had enough of this now. I've been playing this game for 3 years now, and my cousin doesn't want to go to any of the places that I go to. I'm tired of it.
My cousin doesn't want to go to any other places anymore. Well, you were just being overly controlling and bossy, and I guess that's the best I could say for that. I was playing it for 3 years, which wasn't even that long, but then again, I was like 8 when I started playing it, and I had just turned 12 when I made this video. I think I made this video actually after my 12th birthday party, which was a week after my birthday.
I'm very tired of it. I don't know what I'm gonna do next.
You'll find it.
I've had enough of it! I've had enough of it! I've had enough
My
of
version
it!
of the layout change?
I've had
Society? I hope YouTube doesn't age restrict this video because of that. What the f- I hope you enjoyed this butthurt video. I advised that next time one of your favorite websites changes their layout, don't act all butthurt over it. Yeah, this is how not to react to a layout change. Yeah, looking back at that video, it's really just more so comedic. I probably could have just quietly left Roblox. I mean, not just because of that change, but frankly, I just wasn't really having fun like I used to. Now here's something a bit more wholesome. My ultimate Nintendo 64 and PS1 setup. Recorded and completed February 10th, 2017. This video went unreleased until the end of 2017 as I felt unsure it would be professional enough for my channel. Yeah, I was as old as the Madoka Magica character and lost all sense of direction and security. Honestly, this video is fine, maybe a little forced, but it's cute and wholesome. Well, let's watch it. I think it's the second longest video that we're looking at tonight at 9 minutes.
Today's Friday, and I want to feel some nostalgia like I did when I was 6 years old.
It's Saturday today, but sure. Feel nostalgia like I was 6 years old. Well, get like the same-ish feeling from playing an old console when I was 6 back in 2008, 2009.
So here I have the console I grew up with when I was 6 years old. And one I wish I also grew up with when I was 6 years old.
One I wish I grew up with? I didn't really know what the PlayStation was that much when I was like 6, but I guess that would be more like an alternate setup. Not an alternate setup, but an alternate timeline. What if I had the PlayStation instead of the Nintendo 64?
And I also got the closest thing I have to my 13-inch Toshiba, a 13-inch Sony Trinitron from 1999. Let's show the film.
I actually had almost the same thing as the 13-inch Toshiba back in October. I got it from the dump and I sold it at the swap meet.
So here is my childhood 64.
I like that cute little VHS transition, going from widescreen HD to 4:3, although the video looks a little bit crusty. Like, it's not exactly the best 480p out there.
I got this when I was 6 years old, and we're gonna start off with this in this video. So we're gonna plug the big brick into the N64.
I got it when I was 6. I've technically had it since before I was born, but that's when my mom brought it out, when I was 6 years old.
Now for video, one way I remember using my N64 was an RF adapter. Now we gotta screw this into the back of our TV.
What? I can't see that. Okay, I can barely see that. Effectively can't see that.
Now to plop our game in. In this case, it's the first N64 game I ever played.
Well, the first one I have any memory of playing.
And now for our controller. I have tough luck getting this thing working nowadays, but let's see if I can get it to work. Now to turn the TV on.
Yeah, that Pokemon controller still doesn't work too well. I gotta fix that up. Probably need an whole new
RF, you had to tune
PCB.
into channel 3. Let's start the game.
Although, I had a tuner at the time. I think my TV was pulling digital cable. Or, not digital cable, but analog cable. And my TV provider still allowed that until October 2012 when he had to get cable boxes regardless of the room and whatnot.
It's me, Mario. Hello.
The controller works this time, and the color looks darker than usual because playing this through RF. And now we can game on. But that wasn't the only way I hooked it up. When I was 6 years old, my TV did not have a back composite input, so I resorted to the one in the front.
Most 13-inch mono specials didn't have rear composites, only on the front, which I guess was more convenient for like a kid or whatever.
Because my TV didn't have stereo speakers, only 2 of the cables would end up being used.
Also typical for mono specials.
On this TV, the front input is video 2, and then we turn on the console.
It's me, Mario. Hello.
And I lucked out this time, or I didn't luck out, whatever it is. Luckily, I have another N64 controller I can resort to. Okay, so I plugged in the other controller, so let's turn the console on again.
It's me, Mario. Hello.
And now the controller works.
Duh.
And the video color actually looks better. Only thing is, this is not a stereo TV, so we have to set it to mono.
No, you don't have to do that, but it would sound a bit better if you had set it to mono.
This is always fun to do with Mario's face, and if you want to hold on like this, all you have to do is hold R, and to let go of it, you let go of R.
I didn't know that when I was 6.
I always had fun playing this game when I was younger. I mean, I didn't really know what to do, but it was still fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. Fun things are fun.
Fun in what way? I don't know. Fun is fun.
And I had a 111-star file at the time, so I pretty much had everything unlocked except the cannon.
Well, you also didn't have the fat penguin. I'd
also do the friend's house method when my sister was a baby, but I had to stop doing this because my sister would just keep pressing the reset button.
The joys of having
kind of annoyed
a
me,
baby.
So I put it back on my dresser. One thing I should have done when I was younger was scatter my games among the system like 90s kids did. This is typically what you would do at your friend's house in the 90s. And because you were going to be home by dinner, it didn't have to look that clean. Here's what I did with Beetle Adventure Racing when I was 7 years old. I crossed out this entire closed video store sticker and drew the E in black.
I don't think that
just
phone
like
number
this
actually
game over here.
leads to anything
Originally,
anymore.
the E was like this game over here, but I wanted to make it look newer, but it didn't work that way. Let's switch Super Mario 64
But yeah, Palmer Video shut down a long
to
time
Kirby
ago.
64. If the Nintendo 64 was in your room, this was the whole fun of being in your room. Turning off the lights and closing the shades and playing some Nintendo 64. And I suggest you also go in your bed as well. And get covered in your Pokemon blanket, if you even have one.
I think my uncle took that back.
Forgot you gotta use the D-pad for this game.
Yeah, Kirby 64, that's one that I never really played all that much. Oh, this part of the video is a bit flickery. Should probably put an epilepsy warning when I get to producing this video. Ow. It's bothering me even, and I'm in a decently-ish lit room.
And one of the other Nintendo 64 games I played was Gex 3.
Well, again, I didn't really know what I was doing in
And
Gex
we have
3.
these random names here. And here's the PS1. from the same year as my Nintendo 64, 2000. And we gotta plug that big brick into our surge protector.
That little PS1 was actually manufactured in 2001. 1C was the manufacture date that was on the bottom, so third quarter 2001. I actually sold that PS1 in early 2025 with my 20-inch Panasonic CRT. Go figure, that the guy that I sold that to went and tried scalping that CRT for $200, and he broke some of the plastic off. I mean, I kind of just wanted it out at that point.
If you were really lucky, you'd get the LCD screen for it in the combo unit, but I don't have that. Some games on the N64 needed the memory card, but on the PS1 it was absolutely crucial to save your games. So here I have two memory cards.
It was absolutely crucial to save your games, even going back to like the Super Nintendo.
My secondary card, and I have this performance card, which is my primary card. I'm just going to show you composite because it's not worth showing you RF with the PS1. If you had the PS1 permanently set up, it would just be easier to plug it in the back. Well, not easier, but it would just look better. Or if you really want to, you could resort to what I had to do. Plug it in the front. Because again, I didn't have back composite inputs on my TV. With the PS1, you have much better controllers. You could either use the original controller with no analog sticks, or you could use the preferred DualShock. It's really your choice.
I think I sold that controller as well.
Unlike the Nintendo 64, you didn't really have to worry about
I don't really have PS1s anymore. I just have my fat PS2
these were
for
more reliable and built better. And here we have my 10 games in only 7 cases. Here are the other games that are shown. You'd get the best viewing experience from sitting cross-legged on the floor. But if you didn't want to get up every time just to switch games, you would do the method of nostalgia.
The method of nostalgia, eh? Well, some people aren't nostalgic for that because they never grew up with it.
This moment of their PS1.
But sometimes you can feel nostalgic for things that you never grew up with. There's just some kind of vibe in it.
You gotta turn it up loud so it sounds really awesome. But make sure it's not so loud that your parents come in and yell at you. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was just a little follow-up to Greenham Gaming's video for his ultimate PS1 setup.
Yeah, I said it.
And if you like this video, please rate, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.
Right, that was kind of old terminology by then. It was like by that point. And also, this ending is cute because I clearly recorded that later in the day, and we jumped to 2020, which we're not going to be watching. We're going to be watching this video from 2015, The Cable Outage Chronicles, from the 17th of April, 2015. That was 11 years ago yesterday as of recording this. It's the 18th of April today. It's almost supposed to be the 19th. Recorded on the 17th of April, 2015, because I never uploaded it to YouTube when it was relevant. Oh, boo-hoo! You have no internet when you were supposed to be in school that day. Probably got screwed over by allergies as per usual in spring. Oh, boo-hoo!
So depressed. No TV, no cable, no internet.
Oh, boo-hoo. Yeah, that was the depressed elephant. Because at that time, I was still kind of making plush videos, but I was kind of starting to grow out of it. Well, I was kind of forcibly growing out of it by that point. I just felt like I was getting old. I'm not even old.
Well, guys, today is a very boring day, and sorry for all the messes in here. 99% of them are my sister's messes.
Hey, no need to chew her out like that. And also, I'm pretty sure they weren't even her fault.
Okay, around 10 o'clock last night, our TV, our internet, cable, and phone went out. Yes, and then my dad tried calling the Verizon services, because that's what we get for TV.
Yeah, because Verizon's incompetent as all hell.
The cable man said that he'll try to come today, and if he can't come today, then he'll be here on Sunday. I can't spend more than 48 hours without internet.
48 hours? That's being generous. Just give me 1 minute without internet at that time, and I would have been freaking out.
I was able to survive it with Hurricane Sandy.
I was able to survive without Hurricane Sandy. Not live without, survive!
Well, not here. And today...
I mean, at least with Hurricane Sandy, nobody had a choice. Everything was just screwed at that point.
First episode of the Power Outage Chronicles. Or here, the TV Okay, let me think of a title. The Cable Outage Chronicles.
Yeah, I don't think we really have cable anymore because our cable box got bricked and it was replaced with an IPTV box.
So I'm closer to the router, and you can see that there's an orange light right there. Yes, that means our network is out. And when I turned on the TV this morning to watch some Gumball, Cartoon Network was out. And so were Nick Jr., Nickelodeon, and Nicktoons, and all those other...
I was about to laugh at you for saying Nick Jr.
I like watching. And...
Did you hear that? This motherfucker likes watching Nick Jr. Well, okay, that was more so when I was like 8. And I think even back then I kind of felt like there was a stigma around that.
I know what's the problem.
But it was more so just regular Nickelodeon Cartoon Network that I was watching when I was 12.
A router box. There's only one light here instead of 4 lights, but we still get power.
Router box, fiber optic.
Okay, so I won't be able to use a computer like that, which computers are basically useless without internet. And
they're basically useless without internet. Well,
not really.
Yeah, these days because everything's so internet dependent.
iPhone 4, except I got a few games on here. Whatever, iCloud. I got a few games on there. The iPhone 5 I'm recording with, and okay, here's my new iPhone 5C. Well, it's not really mine, but I haven't downloaded many apps on it.
Yeah,
it's only 8 gigs.
Yeah, that's the pink iPhone 5C that we were given for free back in 2015 because it was so bad.
And not even watching TV, which I do the least. Okay, I'll show you proof I can't even watch TV. What input is this on right now? Oh, the TV. Oh yeah, I wasn't on HBO. That was my parents.
Well, it was at least retrieving the information.
Okay, so that channel's currently out. Let's try going to HD Cartoon Network.
Oh, HD.
I like when the classics air when I'm at school on Cartoon Network. Currently unavailable. And the Nick Jr. part of Nickelodeon. I don't know why the Nick Jr. part's in the morning.
That's very much intentional. Also, you should be at school.
It used to be there.
Yeah, it always used to be there.
Oh yeah. The time right now is 10:06 a.m. And the iPhone 4, I might be able to play some games on
10:06
it,
a.m.? Well, you're up early. Well, at least these days that would be considered early for me because I tend to wake up late.
It's really slow. Okay, it says iPhone there, but I don't have a license, aka SIM card, kind of like Shrek.
Yeah, Shrek from Super Mario Logan. Nobody's going to understand that reference.
And the iPhone 5 I'm recording with also don't have a cellular
Yes,
service.
we know.
Okay, it says Verizon. No, wait. I had it on airplane mode. Okay, it says Verizon there. Okay. It's a bit hard to focus, but it says Verizon there, but it's out of data.
Alright, I get it.
So this is basically good for collection sakes.
Yeah, I still have it 11 years later.
And I'll probably return to you in a couple hours while
I was
I'm
probably
playing
going to
Tiny
sell it,
Tower
though,
on my iPhone.
if I even can. Maybe an acquaintance of mine will buy it off me. I don't know yet. I haven't gotten to
Our
any of
internet
it.
is out because of Verizon. Yeah, I wish I had Cablevision, but they're more expensive. But the problem is, they don't go...
They're more expensive? No, I think Verizon might have actually been more expensive, but it's more so ISPs playing games with us, and one becomes less expensive than the other constantly. It's a wild goose chase, a game of cat and mouse, except we gave up playing on that and just stuck to Optimum because screw Verizon.
Out as much as Verizon. I also tried connecting to my grandparents' Wi-Fi, since I know their password, but my iPhones don't want to connect to their Wi-Fi for some reason. I'll probably go to SPC2's house later today.
SPC2's? You mean my cousin?
And get Wi-Fi there.
Oh yeah, I was so desperate that I was gonna walk over to like my grandma's or my cousin's just to get Wi-Fi.
Do you see this right here? This is a Verizon iPhone 5C. Okay, it says Verizon. Yep, it's a Verizon iPhone 5C. They provide my internet, TV, and cable, and phone. And they've gone out today. So, this is my reaction to them going out today.
Wow. Wow, you're so funny. Wow, good job throwing the iPhone 5C. That was brand new at the time. You sure know how to take care of electronics.
Okay, so I watched Road Geek's video, and I'm currently watching Shrek on the DVD.
I'd watched Billy Core's video on the Power Outage Chronicle that he had at the time, which this was inspired by it. Those weren't fun to make because he'd be out of power, obviously. It's not like I was even out of power, so I could have just put Shrek in the DVD player, not just my laptop.
And it's the first movie, and I'm watching disc 2 because it's widescreen.
As if that wasn't obvious.
I haven't watched this movie in a while, but I need some entertainment right now, so I'll report to you in a few more hours.
I'll report to you in a few more hours, and it never happened. And that's all. So yeah, that's everything. I was kind of in a doozy through this video because I was pretty tired. I woke up late. I don't think I woke up until like 8 p.m. And today probably wasn't the best day for reacting to these kinds of videos, but I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. It might take a bit for me to edit this down and upload it. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.